The Blue Jays start their stretch of 13 straight games against the Red Sox, Orioles, and Marlins, and they drop game one of the three-game set against the Red Sox 9-7 at Salem Field in Buffalo. And this game is frustrating for a few different reasons. Number one, you had a 4-0 lead. Then they make it I think they make it a 4-3 game. Don't worry, the Jays had two more. It's now a 6-3 game. Great, we're feeling good now. Offense is cooking again. Now, let's cruise. No, sixth inning, the Jays absolutely implode, give up a 5 spot, and just like that, you're down 9-6. Or they scored another run in there somewhere? They scored a 6-run spot, They're in the 6th inning to give the Red Sox a 9-6 lead. They make it a little interesting there in the 9th with Hernandez solo shot, panic single, then Tellez comes up with a tying run at the plate, but he strikes out to end the ball game. This game sucks for a few reasons. Chase Anderson did very well today, I thought. I mean, he gave up some... It's funny. Mitch Moreland and Xander Bogaerts really did most of the damage against him. I think they were 2 of the runs were just those 2 guys getting it done. But I look at that 6th inning and I'm like, why did Charlie Montoyo put him out there? We heard before the game they wanted to get him between 70 and 80 pitches. That's what we heard. He was 78 pitches through 5. He's in line for a win. He's right in that spot of 70 to 80 pitches. They try and put him out there for the 6th. And he gives up a leadoff walk to Mitch Moreland, a guy who's already, he's already, given up 2 hits against the guy so far in the game. Not sure why he put him out there to face him. He walks him, then pulls him. I mean, I don't understand the philosophy there. Wilmer Font then comes in. Why that happens, I don't understand, because you have an opener day tomorrow, possibly even the next day. And what Jays fans have learned, at least from Wilmer Font this year, he's an opener. That's where he succeeds. You saw that last year. You have an opportunity the next 2 days, or at least one of the 2 days, to put him out there. Clearly, that's not an option because they're probably going to go with a guy like Anthony Kay or Baraki or Thomas, probably not Thomas Hatch, but probably Ryan Baraki or Anthony Kay. But Wilmer Font goes out there and he faces Vasquez first. And on a 2-2 pitch, they think they strike him out. Even Vasquez thought he struck out, but it's called a ball. Next pitch, he doubles to center field. Moreland to third. You have the tying run at the plate now. And the people don't get mad at the umpire because he was terrible for both teams all game long. Then Kevin Pillar pops out to Vladdy, and we're like, hey, okay, now you got 1 away. It's all right. Good job. Now you at least have an out now to play with. Then Jackie Bradley Jr. singles to center field. Moreland comes in. It's a 6-4 game. And it's tying runs on base now. Then Wilmer Font decides he doesn't decide to, on an 0-2 pitch. 0-2. You hit the number 9 hitter to load the bases. Terrible situation. And then Verdugo singles to right field. Vasquez comes in. It's a 1-run ball game, and they bring in A.J. Cole. And he gives up a bases-clearing triple to Rafael Devers. And it's 8-6. And they score another run on a sac fly. But it's just the small things that just kill you in a game. You have the number 9 hitter. You're up 0-2 on the guy. You have 1 out, and there's a man at third. What was the situation there? They had runners in the corners, I think it was. Runners in the corners with 1 out. Tying runs on. First base, at least. You still have a 2-run lead. So you're still okay, but you hit the number 9 hitter 0-2, and that's the turning point in the game for me, is you hitting the number 9 hitter. I mean, you just don't do that. Now, obviously it wasn't on purpose, but he did it. And the floodgates open, the Jays kind of lose their mojo, and you see late in the game, they just didn't really have any offensive oomph in their game anymore, and they lost. And it sucks because the Red Sox coming into the game were 9-20, and you face a guy today. The Jays did pretty well against Kyle Hart. They had opportunities to score extra runs, but you can't expect them to score in every situation. They had a 2-out single from Jansen there in the first inning. They had a 2-out hit from Vladdy when they extended their lead to 6-3 there in the bottom of the fourth inning. So there's two out clutch, two-run singles each. So they had some clutch hits. So I'm not going to blame the bats today. It was the pitching staff, and I'm not really sure a couple of the moves Charlie made. Look, okay, if you're going to fire Wilmer Font out there, fine, so be it. Not sure why Chase Anderson even faced the one guy. Well, we want to try and get him through 6. Right, but you said the pitch count before the game. He was right in that slot. He's coming around after the third time through the order for J.D. Martinez, who's got a single and a double against him to this point. There was no need to put him out there again. Oh, we want to get some length out of our starters. Now you say that. Really? In a situation like this? I didn't get it. I wasn't too sure about it. I hate harping on Charlie, but things like that are just head scratchers. Now, if it worked and he went 6 solid innings, then fantastic. We won't be here talking about it. We talk about how good Charlie is for putting him out there. But the fact that it went wrong, that's what happens in sports. You make a call, you're wrong, you get talked about for it. That's it. And, offensively, like I said, they had other opportunities as well. In the second inning, the bases loaded and 1 out for Vladdy, but he grounds into a double play to end the inning. They had opportunities to score other runs. They couldn't do so. I think at one point they had guys at second and third with 1 out, and they couldn't do so. So it's just, yeah, they could have scored more runs, but 6 runs should be fine. Yeah, the Red Sox offense is still pretty good, even without Betts and Benintendi struggling and out. Of course, they're still a strong offensive ball club. Doesn't matter. If the Jays want to make the playoffs, and it seems like they're probably going to make the playoffs with only the Orioles battling with them right now, you got to find a way to beat teams who are 9-20, for goodness sakes. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of brutal, but it's one game. It's game 1 of the 3-game set. Tomorrow's a new day. Game 2 of the series is tomorrow. It was supposed to be Nathan Eovaldi on the mound in game 2, but I think his start got pushed back to Saturday, so we won't even be seeing Nathan Eovaldi. I don't know who's on the mound for the Red Sox tomorrow, and for the Blue Jays, it's going to be a bullpen day. Not too sure right now who it's going to be. I'm assuming in a post-game press conference, Charlie's going to say who the starter is for tomorrow, and that'll be that. But the Blue Jays got to come out tomorrow, and they got to get some pitching. I don't care what that is. Whether it's, if Anthony Kay goes out there and gives you 4 solid innings, that's what you love to see. You want to see top to bottom good starting pitching and good bullpen relief. Because today, you did not see it. A.J. Cole has been extremely reliable. The bases clearing triple kind of sucks. I understand none of the runs go against him, but it still sucks. And you need to get some wins here. We've talked about it before, guys. I think it was like 10 of the last 17 games of the year are against the Yankees. And the next 12 games are against teams that are either 500 or lower. Unless the Marlins are like just over 500. But whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. You have Orioles, Red Sox, and Marlins over the next 12 games. You got to find a way to put some wins together. And it was not a good start today. Now, the great thing about baseball, you can always get back on the horse, go back out there the next day, and find a way to do a job. And get back in the win column and put away those woes that happened the day before. That's the great thing about baseball. Now, quickly, let's get through the numbers about today and see who did good and see who did not do well. All right, so offensively, we had Kevin Biggio going 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, and he walked twice. He's on bases 405, people. Oh, my goodness. Randall Grichuk was 2 for 5 in the game with a run scored. As we said yesterday, it was precautionary reasons that he was removed from the game. Clearly, he was okay being back as the DH there today. His average up to 302 on the year. Vladdy went 1 for 5 with a couple RBIs. Again, would have loved to see him get a hit or even a sac fly with bases loaded in that one inning, but hey, doesn't always happen that way. Hernandez went 1 for 4 with the solo shot that he hit. He had 2 runs scored in the game. He also walked once. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 1 for 4, couple RBIs with a run scored. Again, a lot of these hits that I'm seeing, or at least a lot of the RBIs that I'm seeing early in this ball game, as obviously they scored all the earned runs were for Kyle Hart. So that's that. Joe Panik went 2 for 3 in the game as he came in to pinch hit for. I think it was Drury who came in to pinch. No, he went into field, so Joe Panik came in to pinch hit, and he went 2 for 3 in the ball game with a walk. So a pretty good day at the plate for Joe Panik. Danny Jansen, great to see him get a couple hits today. He's desperately needed it. 2 for 4 in the ball game, had a couple RBIs and that RBI single in the first. and his average is only 161, even with the 2 hits. He's had a terrible season offensively. And Santiago Espinal, guys, 3 for 4 with a run scored. What a day for the young fella. 235 on the year with a 250 on base. But he's doing so many things for this team. He's trying to make up for the loss of Bo Bichette. It's so hard to do so as a young player with, I mean, I wouldn't say he's not as much talent as Bo Bichette, but as of, the track record isn't as beautiful as Bo Bichette's. Let's just put it that way. But for Santiago Espinal, he's going out there and doing a job. I mean, I've been talking about this guy for a little while since the Steve Pearce trade happened, and through his time through the minor leagues, I've been keeping an eye on him. And as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos over the last couple of years, you'll know that I've kind of gone through the minor leagues and keeping an eye on a guy like Espinal. And him coming up here and bunt single, double, another single. I mean, he's and defensive work is fantastic. He almost made a ridiculous play on Jackie Bradley Jr., unfortunately, who is just barely safe. But the guy's showing all kinds of great things. To the Blue Jays staff, the coaches love him. I think fans are really starting to take notice and really be fond with him, if that's even a statement that I just said. But you know what? I'm going to go with it. I think Espinal is a fantastic young player. I think he's got a lot of talent, a lot of room to grow. But again, great day at the plate for him. Like I said, 3 for 4 with a run scored. Great job for him. Let's get to the pitching staff real quick. Anderson went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. And Milwaukee, you got to realize that 2 of those 4 runs were Mitch Moreland and Bogarts. I'd say, 4 of the 7 hits were from those 2 guys. Again, those 2 guys just torched him today. He only walked the 1 guy, and of course was Moreland to start off that big rally there in that big inning in the 6th. And Wilmer Font was, like I said, downright terrible. Got 1 out, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, all 4 were earned, and obviously hit the number 9 hitter, of course. So that was a terrible outing for Font. AJ Cole went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, an earned run. It wasn't the triple to Devers. It was the sac fly that brought home Devers. That was the earned run for AJ Cole. And Travis Bergen. Very interesting road to the Blue Jays. He was a Double-A closer for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats a few years back now. And he was a Rule 5 pick. Oh, look at that. Lucas Giolito, no against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Congratulations, Giolito. That's a good one there. And let's get back to Bergen here. And he was a Rule 5 pick for the Giants. And, obviously it didn't work out. So he got sent back to the Blue Jays. And I think that's how it worked. I think that's how he came back in the organization. Anyways, he's here now. And he pitched his first game today as a Toronto Blue Jay. Got picked up off the taxi squad. And looked pretty damn good. Went an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 3. I mean, he looked fantastic throwing strikes. Obviously, he walked 1 guy, but threw strikes for the most part, and was really, I think he walked Jackie Bradley, if I'm not mistaken. But he looked really solid overall. I really like what we saw from Bergen, and Sam Gaviglio went an inning and a third, walked 1 batter, no hits, and that's it for Gaviglio. And that's where Sam Gaviglio should live. When this team is down by 3 runs or more, in the later half innings, put him out there, kind of like what you did with Yamaguchi there for a little bit when he was struggling to start his big league career. So, again, terrible finish to this game. Just the way it started looked great. It looked like it was going to blow them out and start off this stretch on a really good note and continue that pace of extremely good baseball. But the way that 6th inning unfolded, it was not pretty to watch, and you lose game 1. But as I mentioned earlier, the great thing about baseball, you hop right back on the horse and you get out there the next day and go for a W and get back into the win column, even up the series at 1 game apiece. All right, so like I said, that game is at 6:37 again tomorrow night as the Jays look to even up the series at 1 game apiece. Like I said, it's a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. I'm guessing it's going to be either Anthony Kay or Baraki on the mound for the Blue Jays in that game. I'm not too sure who the starter is for the Red Sox right now. That'll be probably named tonight as well. So guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the way this game ended, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game? Do you agree with Charlie? Do you not agree with Charlie? Let me know, guys, in the comments below what your take was on this game. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is down in the description. So if you've not followed up the Instagram page already, please go do so. And I will talk to you guys, Leafs edition, heck, at some point, because they're bound to make another trade at some point in time in the near future. As for the Raptors, they take on the Boston Celtics in Game 1 on Thursday, or at least we think it's going to happen on Thursday. The Round 2 preview against the Celtics I'll be putting out there tomorrow afternoon as we break it down the upcoming series against Boston, and kind of seeing where it goes, seeing what's going to happen, and my takes on what's going to happen and what's it going to take for the Raptors to get over the Celtics, because that series right there, it reminds me a lot of Philly. Excuse me, guys. A lot of Philly last year, where it's just going to be a dogfight right back and forth to Game 7. That's just my feeling on that. I'll explain that more in tomorrow's video. As for the Blue Jays, as we've mentioned, their next game is Game 2 of the 3-game set against the Red Sox. Tomorrow evening, 6:37 first pitch there at Salem Field, as the Blue Jays look to even up the set. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys know the video. We'll talk to you guys then.